What's up guys, it's Ronan again, and today I'm going to be giving you a 360 tour of an M16 Halftrack. If this is your first time watching our channel, I would like to thank you for joining us and hope that you will consider subscribing. So I'm currently in France along the Maginot Line, and this is basically the view I have. And if you just caught that, there is a massive bunker over here, which is part of a bunker system. It's currently called Fort Casso, but it was named Rohrbach. We will have a future video about exploring these bunkers inside and out. So we are allowed to go 100 feet down and even travel down to the other bunker and even operate one of the Eclipse turrets on the top, which would make it go up and down. So stay tuned. So let's start this tour. So you can obviously see a massive winch. They welded it here so it wouldn't flop around. And here's the front of it. The wheels are still intact. The rubber is still here. That is really nice. Still has paint. You could see some painting here, and it's a 10. You could see it's literally a half track because there's half wheel and half track. That's why it's called a half track, of course. Like a tank, kind of. But a little bit thinner track. The track is a little thinner, and there's a lot more rubber on this than other tanks that I've seen. Here is the inside. This door does open. You can see here a lot of spider webs. That does not move. Yeah, everything is rusty, but you can see some electronics and stuff. And here's where the seat would be, another seat. I think this was just added so kids wouldn't fall in if they got on top. There's the front. That is cool. This still opens. Like, it's a heavy door too. Look how thick that is. Not as thick as tanks, but it's a big piece of metal. So let's check out the rest of it. Here's the back. So it could possibly get towed. Or it could possibly tow. And also, the interesting thing is that it did have 4 50 cal guns. So it was the multiple gun motor carriage. MGMC, the multiple gun motor carriage. And you can see that these could go down. So then this is anti-aircraft, but it can be used to attack troops when it's on ground level. So that is also another useful thing that this half-track could do. See the other side. And yeah, I'm going to get on top and show you guys. Here's another one of them, whatever this is. Tulsa Winch Co. Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's American, obviously. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the top of this. So, here's the big gun. It's pretty big. You could see that it would turn. The guns are obviously not here anymore. Wow. There's a little higher of a view. So now I'm going to show you what it's like to sit inside an M16 Halftrack. So it's missing a few of the cushions, but you can obviously see there's armor protection I already talked about, but there's some electronics. But now I just saw this button. These buttons say different things. Like this one says vent. This one says choke, ignition, throttle, vent. Ooh, that's a cool thing. Look at that. I don't know exactly what that is. Can't be the speed because I don't think it goes 2,000 miles an hour. Parking brake and some other things. The ignition turns. That button. It's really cool. And the steering wheel does turn. And then there's a number 55 PP or PR. I can't tell. It's really cool. And you can see the brakes and pedals. Here's the view of the gun behind. So let's see what it's like to sit in the gunner's position. So you can also see that there is some fabric or canvas so the gunner could sit here. But now let's see what it's like to actually, how easy or how hard it is to get into the gunner position. You gotta go like this? I think so. Yeah. It's pretty cramped in here. Just crunch down. It hurts, but. So I already showed you the back area. Let's show you this area. See a lot of storage. There's a hatch that I just found, and it goes here. That's probably where ammunition would be or any other things to store. There's a lot of other hatches. There's a lizard in there, little buddy. So these guns were belt fed, so it looks very obvious that 50 cal ammo cans would fit in here. So 4 would fit in here, or 3, I don't know, because there's this big metal piece just sitting here. And this is where the gas would go. I still can't open it, but it's really interesting. And my dad says that these are still used today in the modern army. So this might have been the area where the assistant gunner and the gunner would store their rifles, where the butt stock would go over here, and then the barrel would just clip in here. So that looks very interesting for the 2 people who would be on the back in combat if they needed their rifles. Before we get to the end of the video, I would like to share some interesting information about this vehicle. So this vehicle was first developed in December 1942. Its most famous version is the quad 50 cals used against aircraft and troops. It could go 42 miles an hour on level ground and had a range of 175 miles. The M16 Halftrack continued being used after the war by the US until the 50s. The French used it until 1984, the Germans used it until 1960s, and surprisingly, the Royal Thai Army still uses it today. The real name, as I already explained, is the MGMC, the Multiple Gun Motor Carriage. The engine was a White's 160 AK gas engine with 128 horsepower. It was built by the White Motor Company from 1942 to 1944, and 2,877 new ones were built. Another 677 were rebuilt from the old models. It was used in World War II, both by the US and the UK, along with some captured ones being used by the Wehrmacht. This is going to wrap up the video for you guys. I really enjoy making these types of videos because it's helpful to people who are interested in military vehicles by showing them what these vehicles look like in their natural and unrestored state. If any of you guys know of other interesting military vehicles here in Europe and you would like us to make a video about it, please let us know down in the comments. We've had a lot of new subscribers lately, and if you're one of them, welcome. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so, and I'll see you in the next video.